Civilization is like a beautiful woman putting lipstick on a pig. We humans are the pig. Civilization is the beautiful woman who puts the lipstick on us. Civilization loves us. Civilization nurtures us. But deep inside, we are all still pigs. That is, all of us except we bloody clowns.
You got that right, Chuck. If everybody was a bloody clown, we wouldn't even need to have this discussion. There wouldn't be any problems with humanity, and there wouldn't be any problems with civilization. Unfortunately, there are other people in this world. People like the sexy model we heard from just a moment ago. And this means we have a problem, a real problem. The problem is that as bad as non-bloody clowns are, civilization is worse. Civilization is all-consuming. It eats its parents. It eats its children. It enslaves religion and science and economics. It eats our very planet, changes our climate, discharges poisons that last for generations, slaughters the handiwork of millions of years of evolution, and forces its citizens into bondage and dependence. It eats away at its very self, from its own insides, until it is an empty shell that collapses under its own weight.
Hey, wait a minute, you bloody clowns! You're using pictures of me to illustrate points that I don't even believe in. You didn't warn me that you'd be doing that.
Oh, just ignore her. What does she know?
Of course I'm going to ignore her. She's not a bloody clown.
Does the hem hang right and back?
We might change the hemline a little. The drape is just fine. Otherwise, it looks very nice.
I'm sure it isn't very chic to take the second dress, but I like it.
We altered a little here to make it straight all the way around. There, do you want to go back to your dressing room?
I like it fine. I believe I'll have you deliver the dress if you don't mind. I did say I'd take it. What's the matter with her? Oh, what's the matter with everyone? Why don't they answer me?
fighting to be seen. I first began to realize that I was becoming invisible as I was walking down a sidewalk somewhere near the center of downtown. I observed that people did not even look at me as they passed me by. I had the premonition that cars would no longer stop for me if I stepped off of the sidewalk into the busy street. Not even panhandlers or infants in baby carriages seemed to be aware of me. Nobody smiled. Nobody frowned. When I returned home and looked at myself in the mirror, it seemed to me that my reflection had grown more transparent. This confirmed that the people downtown, when they looked straight at me, could see nothing but the cars and people and buildings that were behind me. The Vincent van Gogh prints that hung in my room had long prognosticated to me that solidity is an illusion, that true reality is composed mostly of empty space. Now it seemed to me that Van Gogh's prophetic vision was coming true.
When is the next eastbound bus? When does the next bus leave? I must get on it. I want to get out of here. I want to get away from here.
Eastbound bus, now loading, gate 9.
Close the wait. Wait. Let me in. You gotta let me in. I gotta get on that train. I gotta get away from here. Please. Please. You'll hear me. You can hear me. Why can't I hear anything? Will you help me? I need your help. Just a moment, please. Why can't anybody hear me?
Human society is similar to ant society in that it exists as an entity which the members of the society serve. If you fail to properly serve human society, you are put into jail, or you are crucified, or you are hanged. Ants never fail to properly serve their society. Ant colonies have no jails or mental institutions. Ants do not drop out of society, become homeless, turn into hippies, or even become eccentric recluses. Ants do not join militia groups. They do not join religious cults. They do not become terrorists. Each ant does its job and is a tireless advocate for the society as a whole. The queen ant lays eggs. The nursery ants tend the eggs until they hatch. The unsexed, sterile female worker ants dutifully gather food to feed the colony. The male drones sprout wings, fly in search of their queen, have sex, and then die. No original thought is ever expressed. Not a single idea, or even a law, is ever written down. All action is compulsory, without intention, yet able to generate a complex social system that is adaptive to environmental conditions and able to survive, even thrive, in a hostile, ever-changing world. To be a human, you must think like a human. You must walk on two legs. You must be a part of human society. You must breathe in nature's air. You must labor long days and live short lives in the service of your society.
Annabelle, our guests are here, and fortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Dust and dirt everywhere, and the water barely trickles. Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
Atmosphere, darling. You know how ghosts are. They never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
The spend-the-night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Would you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork. Will you join me?
No, thank you.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that. Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Would you go away for $1 million, tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all. Your jealousy isn't tax-free, and your possessiveness is maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce,
But can't prove them.
the time will come. You'll slip up one of these days,
Think so?
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes, arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle, you'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you. I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. And don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
Now, we live in a world of our own making. In air-conditioned environments where the laws of socioeconomics and the whims of fashion seem more important to us than do the migratory patterns of animals and the rhythms of the seasons. The fire that we tamed has been digitized. We gather together in circles as our ancestors used to huddle around the fire. Our ancestors used to walk through sacred hunting grounds beneath an ever-changing sky, followed by ravens who hoped to share in the spoilage after the kill. We still, to this day, visit those same sacred places on wheels, or we view them remotely on LCD screens. We eat the meat of animals who could never have survived in the wilderness. Blessed with creativity and a grand sense of entitlement, we believe that we transcend the laws of nature. We worship gods, fear demons, coordinate group activities and ritual celebrations, and we bury our dead.
All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up. It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild, violent, and different. Look out! God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
Destroys everything with hair and flesh. just leaves the bones.
It is the boundary of the razor that cuts, the boundary between the beats that sets the tempo, the boundary of the cliff where the fall begins. It is at boundaries where garments rip, where vessels burst and welds break. A hairline crack in the shell of an egg signals imminent structural collapse, and yet, without a window, we could not see outside of our house. Without a doorway, we could not eat, make love, or breathe. When a child is born, it cries out with hot emotions and warm tears, breathing in its first breath of the cool air that it must now breathe for the rest of its life, seeing for the first time the various strange, unnamed, undifferentiated, brightly colored and shadowy images of the people and things which it will someday touch and give names to.
David? David?
At last you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with me.
The human psyche is haunted. The thing about ghosts that so irritates the living is that the ghosts themselves do not know that they are dead. They just keep hanging around, as if they can be resurrected. And sometimes they do, in fact, seem to return to life.
I don't mind if I do. China was never like